Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Eurovision interview here on the channel. Of course, my name is Connor, and today, oh mio padre, I am joined by Teya and Salena of Austria. How are y'all doing today?
Hello,
Hi,
hi.
thank
So nice to
you.
meet you. We're great. How are you?
I am doing great. It's really crazy. I was just doing my calendar, like for work and setting up all the days, and I just realized how close we are to Liverpool. And I was like, holy cow, wow, that time flew.
Don't remember us.
Well, I wanted to
Oh my
double check.
God.
I wanted to double check with y'all before we get started. Who are we channeling today? Is there anyone who maybe is in the room with us that's not Taya, Salena, and Connor?
Um, oh, mio padre.
Oh,
I
mio
think there's a
padre.
ghost in our room.
There's a
And
ghost in the
this-
podcast.
In the podcast.
I mean, I was thinking like, maybe I'm like channeling like Barbara Walters today, getting my real like interviewer in here. So I just wanted to double check.
I feel like at this point we cannot really choose who we're channeling.
No,
I feel like he's following us everywhere we go.
yeah.
So
He's just in our body.
we're done
Fair
for
enough.
at this
Fair
point.
enough. And I think a lot of our listeners would be interested to learn. I guess I know that the song is satirical in nature, and of course we are not actually being possessed by Edgar Allan Poe. But if you were thinking about what it was like to be possessed by Edgar Allan Poe, what would you think that would feel like? What would you think you would be actually doing?
Oh, I feel like that would be horrible. Like he was such a miserable guy. Like I feel like we would pretty quickly become either alcoholics or insane.
Yeah, depressed.
Maybe fall in love with our 13-year-old cousin. It's not a nice thing to be.
Oh,
You know, we don't necessarily want to be an Edgar Allan
that
Poe.
was a picture of.
Yeah,
Ooh.
so that guy is very controversial. I mean, at the end of the day, he is the epitome of a struggling artist. So in some ways, we already are Edgar Allan Poe.
We are, without the cousin thingy.
Of
Yeah,
course.
without the
alcohol thing
history
as well.
of Edgar, you are
Yeah,
on
okay, that sounds
similar life journeys, maybe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're just concentrating on his essence and not really him as a person. So so his vibe, that's
Mhm.
kind of the mood. The mood.
Sure. Sure. Well, speaking of vibes, I know that you both met on the Starmania season that was, I believe, Starmania 21. And I think we can tell from the interviews that I've watched, obviously from like your music video, your social media, y'all really seem to vibe. And so when you first met, what was your first impression of the other person?
Oh my God.
Such a good
I
question.
saw her on stage and I was like, who is that girl?
Who the hell
Uh,
is she?
Who the hell is she? I need to get
I
to know
thought the
her.
same thing. Actually, to be honest, I don't think I've ever told you this, but I'm a nosy bitch. And when we found out who is going to be casted in Starmania 21, I looked through social media and then I found your TikTok and the way I don't think I've ever told you this, but
What?
I found her TikTok and I looked through the videos and I was like, holy freaking shit, this is some competition. Like I thought you were by far the best one out there, and I was like,
No, you've never told me that.
I was
We're
honestly
still learning.
I was honestly so shocked that she didn't win the show. Like,
Oh, stop.
yeah, but it definitely like from the first moment, like from day one, we were in the same friend group, and we've always had like the love for Eurovision as well. So it's always something that connected us. Yeah.
Mm, nice. Well,
Crazy.
and speaking of Eurovision, of course, I did a fair number of research, and the ESC website gave us the great tea. Now, Taya, I know people from Serbia will remember you from the Serbian national final, but you both almost represented Austria in two different years. Selena, you in 2019, and Taya in 2020. What does it feel like to officially be Eurovision artists?
Now we feel like, I mean, our biggest childhood dream is coming true right now. That's what it is, basically. Um, and also, I think we weren't ready the years before that we tried. I mean, we tried it a few times more than just once, but we got like very close, like once, each of us. And now it's incredible to be there. I mean, we don't even recognize what we're doing right now.
Yeah, it's a
It's just
weird mix.
overwhelming.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it's a weird mixture between a long time coming and just not being real. So like kind of every day we go to these interviews, and whenever we have an interview, it always just feels like it's just the three of us right now fangirling about how cool Eurovision is. And then,
And talking a little bit ourselves because we released
yeah,
a
because
song,
you
you know.
because you just want to ask, you know.
Yeah.
Like, and
Mhm.
then we can ask you something about yourself, and then we all go our merry way and watch Eurovision on the big screen
Yeah.
in May. But then we're like, oh, wait a minute,
We're going on stage.
we're
in May.
going we're going on stage. So it's just a very weird feeling that we cannot like really describe. Maybe it's also because we haven't performed it live yet in front of an audience.
Mhm.
And that's maybe going to change now that we go to the pre-parties. We don't know. At the end of the day, we just try to like appreciate and every second of it, and just be in the moment, and like whatever happens happens, because we already feel so accomplished just by being here. So yeah.
Awesome. And Selena, I wanted to bring this question over to you. So again, doing research and was looking also through your TikTok account, and saw your TikTok. I don't remember if it was a couple of days ago, but it was the one where you said that you bought a treadmill so you could begin your training for Eurovision. So I wanted to ask, how is the training going, and has there been anything about this journey that has surprised you besides training on a treadmill?
Oh my god.
No, I mean, yeah, I mean, I bought the treadmill just to be in shape, actually. Like, because it could be, maybe, that we're doing something on stage
Which
that you
requires us to be fit.
exactly. It could be.
It could also maybe potentially, hypothetically, be something you already saw in the music video during a part where we potentially move our bodies to a very specific part of the song.
But
Okay.
just an idea. You know, I'm just preparing myself in case something is happening on stage.
Yeah, because we don't know. We're gonna find out
We
the
never
day
know.
before.
Yeah. Now on that day, yeah.
Yeah, at the jury rehearsal, like the general rehearsal, that's when we find out what we're actually gonna do and where.
Yeah.
So actually, you know what, Connor, it doesn't make any sense for you to ask anything about the staging because we don't know yet.
I love how chaotic this answer has just become. And I mean
Sorry,
that
you're talking to both of us. That's okay.
that I think that's a very fair point, because I imagine, again, I told y'all I've been doing this for about 3 years, and I think a lot of interviewers, one of the questions that we want to ask the artists the most is, "What are you doing on the stage?" Or what can you reveal? And we
Yeah.
all know that the answer you're going to give us is like some obscure. There's going to be people, and
We're
we'll
playing
be
with you, I'm
there,
sorry.
like. But that's fine. But it's good to know that elements of the music video could make an appearance the day before the show. You'll make a decision.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we're basically we send out an invitation to Edgar Allen Poe. Maybe he'll join us, maybe he won't. But
Ooh.
I think we're just gonna trust our gut that he's gonna possess us the day before, and then we can tell you more.
Yeah.
Okay. So when we meet in Liverpool, I guess we'll need to arrange our interview the day before your semifinal so we can really get the tea.
Just to be safe.
Just
Just to be safe, yeah.
Well, I want to move off of Eurovision just for a quick moment. I want to ask my hardest hitting question now. What is one thing that our listeners would be surprised to learn about both of you? Maybe like a talent, hobby, or an obsession that you haven't shared before?
I haven't shared before. I'm very oversharing. So
I feel like that's my biggest issue as well. I always try to be like very mysterious and cool.
no way.
But I just talk way too much. I don't think
Same,
there's
girl.
honestly, to be quite frank, I don't think there's a single thing about me that not at least one person knows.
Well, I guess I can
Does it
reframe the
count?
question then.
Does
What
it
do you think
count
is a
that
thing that
as a-
most people
Sorry.
wouldn't know?
I've actually learned. I'm actually a hairdresser.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Hmm.
I don't know if that's like boring or something that guys should know, but
Yeah, I used to play professional tennis.
Ooh, interesting. Okay. So
yeah, that is.
So maybe
So-
that's it. Can
so
you
when
work
we
with
get
that?
yeah, I can work with that. So when we get to Liverpool, perhaps, Taya, when you need to get rid of some stress, perhaps we'll find you at the tennis courts. And Selena will probably see you in the hair studio,
I'm gonna cut your
probably
hair.
doing Taya's hair.
We're gonna do both at the same time.
Actually, I dyed her
Ooh.
hair. I cutted her hair.
She
I
does my
already
hair.
made some waves. So
Hmm.
I'm here.
Okay.
She does do my hair. So our kind of routine before any big thing, like before the music video or before any performance, is that we're in the hotel room and she is coloring my hair.
It's literally every
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 time.
time, yeah.
Yeah.
How fun. How fun. I would like to see a hair appointment whilst also at the tennis court. So maybe that's what where we do our pre-semifinal Liverpool
I
interview.
love that.
Yeah.
That sounds like a great idea.
I'm just feeding off of the chaos, you know. I really want to manifest.
You're fitting right in, Connor. You're doing a great job.
Well, speaking of, I guess this kind of relates, but chaos. I think that that's a somewhat accurate way to describe your song, especially when people, I think, first listen to the song. I think they're kind of just like smacked with like, what is this? What did I just listen to for 3 minutes? And I know that as well, this song kind of, I guess, came about last minute. Because I remember I listened to an interview that you had on Austrian television, that you were writing a song actually for Selena, and then just this song just created itself. Can you tell us a little bit more about the songwriting process and how you essentially landed on this message for a possible song?
Sure. Yeah, so as you said before, we actually wrote a song for me for Eurovision. And then we had like 1 hour left over before we had the listening session that you always have at songwriting camps. You're gonna show off your songs that you wrote the day over the day. And yeah, we wanted to make a fun song to make people laugh. And yeah, Teya started to improvise the first lines. And all of a sudden, Edgar Allan Poe popped out of her head. It was like, there's a ghost in my body and he's a lyricist. It is, she was like, Edgar Allan Poe. And I was like, how do you get to Edgar Allan Poe?
It is Edgar Allan Poe and he's writing like a bitch. That was the first. That was the original lyrics.
Yeah, we changed it to be like, more.
And yeah, and then Ronnie, who's the producer of the session, he turned around and he's like, "Who the fuck is Edgar?" Because he genuinely didn't know. And
That's
then
so good. I love that
I
story.
love that
Even
part
though I
because-
heard it like 10,000 times.
because he genuinely didn't know. And then we were like, "Yes, put it into the song. Love it. Great input." And then Selena was like, "Oh, but we have to use the po 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 somehow." And I was like, "Yes, girl, let's do po po po." And then we kind of wanted a Nicki Minaj moment for Selena's second verse. So we had to like, and then Selena was like,
That's not what it sounds like.
It's a little different than that, but it's close. I see where it's going.
very close. I know. I'm working on it, Connor.
That's why I sing the line, yeah?
And then, so the line was, "Girl, call Universal, and you're gonna make it far, because you're gonna make it far." And then Selena changed it to, "And you're about to be a star." And I was like, yes, let's go for it. Manifest that shit. And then she said, and then she had that line, and it kind of like was pure chaos.
Yeah.
And we only had 20 minutes to write it because Ronnie was like, girls, when do you want me to produce it? We only have an hour left. So we went and got some food. We packed a plate for Ronnie and brought it to him in the studio because he only had like a half an hour to produce it. So
Crazy, yeah.
So people can actually listen to it. And he was, oh man, that poor boy, he was super hungover. Like
yeah, true. But he said he always has the best sessions when he's hungover.
Yeah, and it worked. It worked.
Yeah.
He was so hungover and in such a bad mood, but we were kind of like, Ronnie, we have to do this. We have to do this right now. And he was like, yes, okay.
So good, sure he drinks a lot before you make your next session with him.
Yeah.
Another banger is coming soon.
We're just gonna give us a second to get Ronnie drunk, and then,
then we can write the next day.
Interesting, because I did reach out to Pele and Ronnie for a potential Eurovision interview as like a songwriter.
Amazing.
So perhaps this is something I need to bring up if we talk to Ronnie.
That's cool.
Well, speaking of songwriting, I'm going to ask another one of my staple questions for Eurovision artists. So, of course, you all probably know that there are, I hope you know that there are 36 other artists who are also competing in Eurovision. You know, if you didn't know that, then I'd be a little concerned. But so there's 36 other artists. And if you had the opportunity to collaborate with anyone that you wanted of those 36 on a new song, who would you pick to work with and why? And it's okay if your answers are different.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Loreen.
Solid.
Honestly, basically everyone. I feel like just as a songwriter, I would love to write with everybody. And as an artist, I feel like it would probably right now make sense to do something with Teya, just because of the cha 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 po 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 thing. Maybe we can find something else with 3 words that we can just repeat until we die.
Yeah.
So yeah. Maybe those. Okay, that's good.
So what I'm hearing is that there needs to be like a multi Eurovision collaboration EP, like in three sets, and you just 12 songs, work through the whole roster of Eurovision.
I can love that idea. We're gonna give you some percentages so you can like get rich off of the 0.003s.
Will take a while, but
I tell you,
we can like afford gas station champagne.
Yeah, I've literally been pitching a bunch of ideas. I talked with Danny from Voyager about potential t-shirt merch, and he's like, oh yeah, you can get like 2% of the profits. And I'm like, wow, off of all these interviews, I'm gonna get like, I don't know, $15 at the end of the year.
Oh no, you're girl bossing way too hard. You're like,
hey,
get that coin.
I'm gonna get more money at the end of the year than I usually do doing this. So hey, I am not mad at the idea.
Well, that's a good perspective. Love that.
All right, now one question that I think a lot of our listeners are interested to learn. So of course we've covered how you all met. We've covered how well you all vibe. Do you think after Eurovision you'll continue to produce music together, or is it going to maybe be because I think we saw this last year with last year's Austrian representatives? They've kind of gone their separate ways. They're producing music on their own, Pia and Lumix. What are your plans?
I think we're very I don't know if impulsive is the best word for it. I'm searching for it. I'm still learning my English. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I think we're both I think it will be spontaneous.
Oh yeah, that's the word.
Spontaneous. Because we can't think about it now because we have a lot to do, and we're working on our own project, like both of us. But I think if it has to be, if it's meant to be, we're going to do something together.
Yeah.
It's written in the stars.
Yeah, we're basically just very open to whatever happens. We just want to feel out how this all works out, and whatever happens, we're just gonna go with the flow, I guess, because we also never intended on going to the Eurovision as a duet, and we never intended on being a duet, but it's working out really well for us, and we have so much fun, and maybe after the Eurovision, there's going to be one song together, and then we're going to do our own thing again. So basically,
maybe a world tour, like all over the world, and like
yes,
you have to be a little bit delusional. Why are you laughing? I'm gonna see myself.
It's just when you said that, like my brain went to like Cher's like farewell like world tour. It's the Teya and Salena
Yeah.
farewell tour.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Love that.
But it's
Well, we're
just
gonna
who the hell is Edgar?
Yeah. We just bring one
just-
song to the table and that's it.
And we just repeat it like 10 times.
And we're gonna get paid a lot.
Hey, I mean,
0.005.
if we've learned anything from Rosalind from last year, you just produce like 16 versions of the same song, and that's how you rack up all those streams,
We should
okay?
make a sped up version as well. Like bo 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 bo.
You should do a bass boosted, you should do a sped up, slow down, a ballad, acoustic, put it in
True.
Spanish, do everything.
in Spanish.
Español.
Oh, we did actually Google how to say who the hell is Edgar in Spanish for Madrid, but
Can you remember it?
but no, but like we cannot pronounce it really well, so we just don't want to embarrass ourselves.
No, we're gonna say something like that we already know, like sentences that doesn't make sense at all.
Like,
¿Dónde está la biblioteca, madre? La gente está muy loca. ¿Cómo estás?
Not the biblioteca. The Spanish fans are going to be watching us and being like, okay, all right.
They tried.
They tried. Well, I'll give it to
Maybe
them.
we're
I'll give
not
it
going
to
to do this.
them. Alrighty. Well, I have one final question for you. What final message would you like to share with the people who are watching this interview right now?
Basically that we're so thankful for all the support that we get right now, all the love that we receive through messages, through postings, and like posting videos of how they dance the song, of how they analyze the song, the reaction videos. We receive a lot of love, and
Basically,
that's beautiful.
like the whole community and just being a part of the Eurovision family has given us the opportunity to be our most authentic selves and still be loved and accepted, and that has made us feel like we've already won and achieved so much, so we're just very grateful. And just basically vote for whoever you like the most, and just thank you for being there and everything.
It could be us.
Don't vote for us, vote for Edgar.
Yeah,
He was such a stand-up guy.
yeah.
Sure.
Sure.
As we covered, what was it, about 15 minutes ago? A real stand-up guy. Well, that is a great transition for us as we close things out here. Of course, I would like to, as I always do, encourage our listeners to check out Teya and Salena on social media. It's really, really easy. It's who the hell is Teya and who the hell is Salena. I love that. I think that is absolutely brilliant marketing on both of your parts. And of course on Spotify, on YouTube, so that you can make sure that you are plugged in to whatever comes between now, Eurovision, and after, because their careers are not going to end after Liverpool. Hopefully. I don't know. We're manifesting. We're manifesting.
We're manifesting, yes, we do.
And of course, if you'd like to support us here on the channel, make sure that you hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, and the like button, because we have a ton of other Eurovision content that is coming out, so you do not want to miss out. But Teya and Salena, again, I want to thank you so much for your time today. Hopefully, I will see you both in Liverpool as well, because I will be there in person. But until then, I'm going to leave us all with a good old goodbye.
See you there, Connor.
See you
Thank you
there.
so much.
Thanks.